Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me say the entire community was devastated on Saturday to learn of the death of the missing teenager, Noah Donoghue. And Noah clearly was a very talented and loving child who excelled at maths and at music and as a basketball and rugby player. From the statements issued by his family in St Malachy's College and his friends, it's clear that he was deeply loved. We have been cruelly robbed of a young man who had a bright future ahead of him and a lot to offer this society. So to his mum, Fiona, and to his family, I'd like to express our deepest condolences. You're having to bear an incredible pain at this time, but please take heart in the support that you have received in recent days right across Belfast and also Northern Ireland and beyond. And I would urge everyone who has rallied around the Donoghue family to continue to keep them in your thoughts and prayers and support them in the difficult weeks and months ahead. The Health Minister has advised us this afternoon that this is the third day in a row now without any COVID patients in ICU. There are currently 19 COVID cases in our hospital. Last Friday saw the reopening of holiday and tourism accommodation in Northern Ireland, such as cottages, apartments, camping sites and caravan parks, and it also saw people who are fortunate enough to own a second home being able to travel there. Indoor training for elite and grassroots athletes and contact sport training resumed from today, and places of worship have also been allowed to hold religious services, provided they can follow social distancing and public hygiene guidelines. And I was delighted to be able to worship this morning at Enniskillen Cathedral. The Executive has today reviewed the Health Protection Coronavirus International Travel Regulations, which come into operation on the 8th of June. The Executive agreed that the regulations are still required, and further discussions are ongoing, including with Westminster and the Joint Biosecurity Centre, and we will consider potential amendments to these regulations at our Thursday meeting. The Executive discussed the issue of driving instructors again today, and driving instructors are not restricted from working, and the focus should be on ensuring mitigations are in place to keep people safe. It is crucial that public health advice is followed to keep instructors and their customers safe, and the DVA have signposted instructors to advice that should consider for resuming lessons safely, with the ADI National Joint Council having published guidance for instructors. The Department for Infrastructure Minister indicated work is ongoing by the DVA to gradually begin reinstating some initial driver testing, where this can be done safely and in line with Public Health Authority advice. So as sections of society start opening up, the ability to meet people outdoors has undoubtedly brought benefits for social interaction, support networks, family ties and informal childcare arrangements. And in line with our indicative timeline, the Executive today discussed, as planned, the next step, increasing the number of people who can meet outdoors from 10 to 30. We agreed this afternoon to ratify that increase up to 30 in line with our plan, and the Health Minister will lay regulations on this issue tonight. It will not alter the situation for indoor home visits, pubs or restaurants, or indeed hotel conventions. In the coming days, hotels, bars serving food, restaurants, coffee shops, visitor attractions, betting shops, hairdressing salons and barbers and gyms will all reopen, and all of these are vital jigsaw pieces in the revival of our economy and the piecing together of a normal society. However, we need to be clear that this is not business as usual. The Deputy First Minister and I have been very clear in recent weeks that while we have managed to suppress the spread of the virus here in Northern Ireland, it has not been beaten. And while the hunt for a vaccine continues, and while the rate of infection remains under control, we cannot assume that that will always be the case. So we must do everything to ensure that we avoid a spike in cases that could take us backwards. And that's why we're appealing to everyone to continue to behave cautiously as they exercise their recently regained activities. Having come so far, imagine how much of a blow it would be to society and the economy if we have to return to some form of lockdown. So the message is clear: stay safe, save lives, and work safe, save lives.